Broadcasting from Hollywood, it's the official On Air with Brandon J podcast.
Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to On Air with Brandon J. I'm Brandon. I'm joined by multi-platinum recording artist Stevie B. What is up, Stevie B?
What's up, my brother? Oh, still at it.
Man, you've been in this game a long time. And first, before we even get into this interview, I was speaking to one of my colleagues, Stone Paxton, and I was like, do you know Stevie B? I'm getting ready to interview him in the next coming weeks. And he's like, man, tell Stevie B I said what's up. So
I know he's a hell of a musician.
Oh, man, incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible. So, man, you got this new single, Take It All Back, featuring Pitbull, remixed by DJ Sama. I mean, man, how did that collaboration come into play?
Well, I had the single recorded some years ago before COVID on the Best of Life album. And now we're post-COVID, and I really wanted to revisit this record because I got caught right into the COVID thing. I thought it could have did better. It was already released. So I said, well, let me go pick a single that I could maybe rework. And all of a sudden now, old school became like a little fad. So
Right.
Take It All Back was like a perfect theme. And I reached out to Sama and I said, I wanted to add in some of the elements that, give you that feeling like you're taking it all back. How can we do it without being corny?
Yeah.
And the first thing he sent me, the Party Your Body in there, had the Dreaming of Love. And of course, when he popped Spring Love in there, and then he found the Spring Love rap that Pitt did for me like 12 years ago.
Wow.
So we tied that in, and it feels like, because Pitt was right in the middle of the TVT fight. I don't know if you remember, he was fighting with TVT, his old label, right before he like super blew up. And I had the vocals, and he dropped that in there, and it just gelled, and he just, oh man, he laced it really nicely.
Yeah, man, that is crazy how you did this song all those years ago, and everything just comes back full circle in this business, and it happens every single day. So I'm happy for you, Stevie. You've been in this game a long time.
30 years.
He was from Miami, the IA 305, Mr. 305. You're from Miami. How has music changed in the last let's just say decade?
Well, it's changed, and it's changed, because it's supposed to change. When we were first coming in 87, 88, they were coming off disco, they were coming off the rock thing, Poison, Meatloaf, all the rock kind of stuff. And then all of a sudden this new Latin rhythm poppy music was showing up in the mix shows and making a little noise. So the same thing has happened. I think we're on a second transition, like from Drake. Now you got the Lil Durks, Little Baby's mama. All them. It's a lot of baby, a lot of babies out there. So even Drake now is considered old school. So we have gone through a couple of transitions, but I've been into this, going on 4 decades now. So I've seen a lot of them coming. I've seen a lot of them go.
Absolutely. And man, when you aspire to be this artist, I mean, nobody knows, what you're going to become in the future. You just know you set a goal, right? This is what I desire to become. Who inspired you? Who influenced your sound growing up?
There is no one thing. You got 250 trillion cells in you, and they store knowledge, information, your brain. And what influenced me early on in my life, in my career, it must have been all the classic rock I listened to. Some of my first albums were Peter Frampton. I listened to the Barcades. I listened to the Commodores, Michael Jackson, Aretha Franklin. All of that stuff was a melting pot of influence,
right?
And it must have played some kind of influence on me. But when I began to write music that I thought was decent, people was attracted to it. Now, you don't know what they're going to attract to. You're going to try, and hopefully you're going to throw your dish out there. And hopefully you think it's going to be something that's going to be successful. I was fortunate enough that when I did do my own stuff, people were attracted to it. And Party Your Body was that first one I did on myself, but I did other records, which was a rap record called I Need You by a group called BVS&P from South Florida. and it took off. So I was just really trying to be a producer. When I couldn't get vocalists to come in and do stuff, I said, I'll try it myself.
Yeah.
And I put the vocals down because I heard this stuff by Shannon and TKA and all those One Way Love that they put out. And I said, man, I could do that kind of stuff. This is going to be cool stuff. And when I tried my hand at it with Part of Your Body, bam, it was a smash. And
you're like, that's it. You just know you struck gold.
Well, I kept my day gig, you know. I wasn't fully convinced yet, but I knew it was something that was taking hold. And I was a little cautious, but it took me probably after my first album to feel comfortable enough to say, hey, look, I'm going to do this seriously full time. I think I can have a career here.
What ingredients do you think, Stevie, makes a hit song?
Well, you know, we had no patterns. We had no thing to reflect on when we were doing what they call, quote unquote, freestyle.
Right.
There was nothing for us to reflect off of. So, and then we're coming in with this new sounding music that was done on the computer because we were doing programming. So it wasn't like I had the full bands and all that other kind of stuff. So I think it was a mixture of the rhythms, because I'm down in Miami. So I know that all the Latin rhythms were influential. And then we had think,
yes.
and so I already knew that, you know, and I played percussion. So I already knew that. And then plus I was a DJ too. So I knew how to make people move. And I said, well, let's start with that element. Then of course I was listening to Shannon's and the Lisas and stuff like that. And I said, well, these elements had worked for them. I said, let me go with the bass of that element. And then of course you got to have a cool ass top. You got to have a cool little melody. Oh, something to make the people chant, throw their hands up in the air. I already knew you had to have something like that. And then of course, you know, the subject matter. Oh, pretty lady, come and have a dance with me. And in a while, your body will surely see. So I did a little thing where it was sort of like a club anthem. And the local radio station down in Miami picked it up, Power 96, started putting it in a mix show, and then it got on heavy demand. And here we are 40 years later, 35.
That is amazing to withstand a career in this daunting business, the music industry. And to be in it for 4 decades, that's impressive, Stevie. What do you think has kept you with the sound mind throughout all of this time in the music business?
I don't know about the sound mind thing, but I'm holding on by a thread every day, brother. I'm like everybody.
A moment.
Well, I'm holding on. I'm just like, don't let me fall apart right here, bro. You know, because we've gone through some daunting times.
Yeah, we have.
You know, as of recent. You know, we've gone through COVID. We've gone through when they shut us down. I've never seen anything like that before.
Yeah.
I think that you know, it's the music.
Yes.
It's the music that has, you know, kept us alive. And I made a concerted effort to make sure that when I was in the public, I established myself as an entertainer. So even as a freestyle artist, a lot of them, and I could say 99% of them, came out as track acts. I never came out as a track act. I started off as a band, and I said I wanted to be a band, and I wanted it to be different, and I wanted Latinos, I wanted Asians, I wanted to look international. I'm an international person,
right? Absolutely.
So I wanted that look. And when I went to San Jose and I met my dancers and it wind up being, I never seen Filipinos and Asians and all that when I lived in South Florida. Don't have very many at all. So once I went to San Jose, I said, wow, okay.
Hey man, I can relate because I'm from Columbia, South Carolina, born and raised. And I moved to LA in August of 2008. And I was like, this is the melting pot. Everybody's here. Like I've never seen like that before in my life.
So it was a melting pot of foods and culture.
Yes.
And I have arrived. This is it. So, you know, from San Francisco to LA, San Jose, I got a real taste of what the world feels like coming out of South Florida, where we were very, very limited. And then all of a sudden now I put those elements together in my band, and I established it early on. I fought for it. Believe me, a lot of those clubs in New York and different places, they don't want to deal with backline. They don't want to deal with having to get an engineer. You got to have a board. You got to have all these things. All they want you to do is put your tape
in-house already.
Yeah, well, it's not even that. They want you to. Back then, we played off reel-to-reel tape.
Right.
So you want to put your reel on, put you on a microphone, sit up there and sing, and let us sell some liquor and get out. That was the New York attitude.
Right.
But I fought to say, hey, look, I got real drums, I got drum machines, I got keyboards, and we play live and we sing live. And believe me, it was a struggle for a long time. But eventually, I established myself as a legitimate band. We were getting paid as a band, not as much as I really wanted early on, but I was doing better than those track acts.
There you go.
And then there was a time where we really stayed really busy. And here we are, 35 years later.
35 years later. Amazing. What advice, Stevie B, do you have for those artists out there, those producers, those hungry songwriters trying to make an imprint, a dent in this business?
Honestly, not to be cliche-ish.
Yeah.
If you got something, it's easier now to be exposed to the public. We didn't have all of these different platforms and all that kind of stuff. Either you went to a local DJ and tried to get a DJ to put it on the air in the mix show. Those were the steps that we had to take. And hopefully that your family and friends give you a sign that, hey, you're pretty good at this kind of thing. You get those kind of things. If you suck, a lot of people, they'll tell you suck, bro. You ain't good, but if you got the right product, it's easy to get the right product now. So many applications to record, so many applications to and sound great and look great. You can literally do a movie, on your iPhone. You can actually record a song in your iPhone.
It's incredible. And now you got ChatGPT helping you write songs. I mean,
that's right. So the artificial intelligence is writing for you now. You tell it you want a Beyonce sounding song, it'll give it you.
Yeah.
So now, in a way, that's going to hurt. Especially, I see now that a lot of program directors are starting to add music from AI.
Oh, man.
And what happens there is they can contract somebody to do AI-driven songs, and they don't have to pay any money. They don't have to pay any royalties. So it's not going to be good. Yeah, and it's not going to be good for the creative. I don't think that AI can take. Well, I'm not going to say they can't. Boy, the thing is pretty amazing. I mean, I got kids in there.
I think as an industry, I don't think it's just going to be that easy. I think that there's going to be some pushback. I was talking to my attorney the other day, and he was like, this ChatGPT thing, this AI stuff, it's going to come into place where, do you have a fair use component involved? It's interesting right now. And that's what I want to say. I don't want to speak nothing negative, positive about it. It's just kind of out there.
Well, it's going to be for the real, and what used to be exciting is the uniqueness of the person to have their own style.
Sure.
And own look and own spirit, the own soul. And it was almost uncopyable. You can't copy it. It was uniquely that artist. It has something magical.
Yeah.
When you start to get rid of that, because you're going to have a lot of talented people trying to go to the AI and say, do something for me. And it's not going to be unique. It's not going to be real. And
those nuances can't be created or replicated by AI. You either got it or you don't.
Not yet. I don't think they can do it yet. So I don't think it's a good thing for the guy who sits there and he goes, 6-7 hours a day to music class to learn piano. He goes to theory. You go to vocal coaching. You do all these things to develop your craft. And then all of a sudden, the computer is going to take your place only because the industry is so freaking cheap. We're still fighting to get fair use. We're still fighting to get our royalties. We're fighting because none of the big players want to pay what we're worth. And it's a fight. It's a struggle every day. Imagine now when the computers and the robots are taking jobs, and now you got an industry that says, hey, we don't have to pay the artist royalty. We don't have to pay nothing. if we can get away with this, they'll get away with it. They'll do it.
They will.
They're not merciful at all.
Right. No, it makes sense. Stevie B, you know, I'm listening to you and you're speaking on so much wisdom to all of us on this interview. So thank you so much for stopping by. Take it all back. Can we play it right after this interview right here on iHeart?
You can play it. You can play it,
Awesome.
my brother. It's
Take
a smash
it all
record.
back. Stevie B featuring Pitbull. Stevie B, where can we follow you on social media?
For social media, you can find me at Stevie B Official on Facebook, and you can do Stevie B _official on Instagram. So just look for me. You're going to find me. Just look me up. Spotify, Stevie B.
We have it right here in the profile. Stevie B, thank you so much for being a special guest today. Congrats on the new single with Pitbull. And I'm looking forward to seeing what you do in 2023, my friend.
Thank you, Brandon. I appreciate you.
Thank you, Stevie B, right here on Air to Jam. Brandon, we'll see you next time. Goodbye for now.